Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's right. Yep. Okay, so let us begin to get ourselves ready. There's Jack. Great, Jack. Just put your name up there. Yep, good. Okay. So I'm going to close the doors because we're going to have a very interesting class. Uh, and we had a good class this morning, and I'll leave that open. Right. And we're looking good on YouTube right now. I can see it right here. So I think we are ready. I'll get the microphones out. And here they are. And let's just make sure we've got juice in them. Yeah, that's still okay. Uh, and yeah, okay. And then this is working. So we can always, okay. I think what I'll do for you guys, I know you like to sit back there. So just take this microphone, and when you speak, just at least we'll be able to hear you, okay? We don't need to see you. So this is going to be the back of the room microphone, okay? So, but you're probably going to come up to the front in a moment, okay? But leave this. So, uh, anyways, so I'll leave this here. Don't worry. I'll bring you the mic. Okay, we are lifting off. Welcome everyone to our final class, which is this is it. Last week was final for content, and this week it is truly the final class. And we were going to have a presentation or two. Well, guess what? The person who was supposed to come and do the presentation, the one I was very much counting on, is Carmen. I don't see him here. So he, well, I'll have to just figure out what I'm going to do. Not to worry. Yes, Noah number two was going to come, but that was only optional. Yeah, so it's not, oh, there, okay, so it's up to him whether he wants to or not. However, I would like to make this worth your while, at least for the short class that we're going to have. There is officially nobody here from our registered class who is ready to give a presentation. So, as always, we have workarounds. And there is a student at the back who has said that completely on his own, he said, maybe I could read my assignment because he really has enjoyed the class and he actually has written well. He's done good work in this class. He's been great to have in the class. So we could, Harris, have you come up and do that, okay? If you're fine with that, we don't have to. And oh, okay, then I could read it. That's fine. If it's up, you can read it, I can read it. And then finally, the option, it would be nice if you stay, but you don't have to. We talked about this last week. Here we have Noah number two, our unofficial student who really loves this content. And I think he deserves to not just present in this class, but to hear what you have to say, because his ideas and his level of knowledge I've been impressed by, and I think that it would be really good for him to hear finally from all of you. But you don't need to be here if you have other. Well, come on in. Excellent. Nice to see you. So Carmen is here now, and excellent. So we're about to have the class that we were supposed to have, and that is we're still going to read Harris's assignment because we have time for that. Okay, but I want to make sure that we do properly what we were meant to do. So first, Noah, I want to check in with you. What do you need in terms of anything to present or You have a video you'd like to show? Well, we'll show it up here. Okay. And then we'll give you a microphone and you'll just present like any other student, at that. Okay. Take your time. Okay. So we've got a first. Well, I think now that I've seen Carmen come in, I think we should give Carmen some time to get his head ready. And while he's doing that, I'm going to read Harris's assignment. Okay. Good. And then we're going to do this. We're going to do Harris's, then we're going to have Carmen, and then we're going to have Noah, number 2, and then we're going to conclude. And that will be the class. So I think, we're going to be out of here fairly soon. However, I would like to discuss with you each of the assignments and give you a chance to comment on the presentations that are made, particularly Carmen's and Harris's, if you would like, and Noah too. So, okay, so I need to go and get Harris's assignment. I have it. Okay, give me a moment while I do a little bit of stick handling here, and I'm going to grab it on my computer. Come on in, Hamza. And there will be nothing here that's confidential. So I will do it off Chrome. Nice, because I'm working off 2 browsers now when I'm in this. And I could even go 3. But let's go to the second. So I'll go to DC Connect, and I'll pull his assignment there. And I'm going to read it. And I love reading student work. So here's Humanity's Destiny. Let's go into assignments. And let's go over to Harris Lure. We'll take the PDF of it. And that way I can really, and what I'll do is, I think I'll get a little fancy here. Can I do, I can do it full screen. Okay, so from here, we'll go straight to full screen, and it will go up here, right? Good. And then I can do this. Oh, that's so nice. The tech is working as it should. So I just want to first, one final thing here, and that is for the Cosmos. Kieran Deep, are you there? Just put a yes in. If not, I'm going to essentially consider you an apparition, which is another word for ghost. Who else is in the Cosmos right now? Are you actually there? Anyways, I'm not going to worry too much. Just put your full name in the live chat, and I'm going to continue on with the in-person group and everything else, because that's what matters the most. And we're going to have a nice recording of this. I see it now going on YouTube. We've got the Cosmos in the right place behind the couches. We see Ibrahim there, the back of him. Noah, number 2, is getting ready. Kiki's there. All right, then. And we've got the gentleman for all of you watching the recording later. What you see in terms of the people in the class right now in the nucleus is not fully representative of what's here. There's a group at the back of the class, but I'm not going to demand that they come to the nucleus. They can hang out at the back if they like. That's fine. Just know that there are others in the back, and we may bring a microphone to them. So the lineup is, just to repeat, and then we're going to move into this. I'm going to now read Harris's assignment. Then we're going to bring Carmen up, and then it's going to be Noah, and then we're going to talk, and then we're going to conclude. So are you sure, Harris, you don't want to read? I'm going to start, okay? So it's a great topic to be able to, at the end of this semester of Humanity's Destiny, we can actually pose a question. Will the future be better? And this is a broad, big humanity question that is universal. And that's what we like in this class, is universal stuff, things that speak to humanity across the planet in this time of accelerating planetization. So Harris has taken this on. Will the future be better? My answer to the question, will the future be better, is yes. But only if we decide to trust each other again. Something I talked about in my first assignment. During this semester, we have explored humanity's future at a time when the world has entered a new millennium that presents significant challenges for all of us. We have looked at space exploration, the distant future, and history's lessons. But when I look at the news, or even just the chat room in our global classroom, it's easy to feel like we are going backward. The strike made communication break down. Technical difficulties made it hard to even hear each other. It's good. I like that, the way you brought that in. You should. If we humans, it's not us humans, okay? If we humans, but that's, I'll just read it correctly. If we humans cannot get a microphone to work in Oshawa, how are we going to handle the next 100 years? It's terrific. I'm not in any way offended that he would comment on the technical problems in this classroom. I actually like the way he's woven this in. Despite that fear, I am optimistic. I believe the future will be better because we are finally being forced to look at the common system. In assignment 1, I talked about planetization, the observing of one common system where problems flow across boundaries. We are seeing now that climate, health, and data are not just local issues. They are everyone's issues. We have looked at how to sustain our accelerating progress, and the data actually shows we are winning in some areas. According to our world in data, he's referring to the sources that I've given you. This is excellent. Immediately, already, I've decided that this is not a machine speaking. This is not somebody passing off his assignment as his voice, and it's really AI. It's a machine. He's got course content in here. You feel him speaking, but it's most important, he's referring to his assignments. I mean, it's all concrete. According to our world in data, global living conditions have improved historically in almost every metric, from child mortality to literacy. This proves that when we actually focus on a problem, we can solve it. The future will be better, not because of magic, but because we have a track record of fixing things when we really have to. We have touched on the driving power of the human brain, as well as projected fates for humanity when the future has never been more uncertain. Now, just a little word of warning. You're taking word for word from the assignment sheet. Those are my words, not your words. Okay, I know that. Be careful, okay? But I'm not going to hit you for that. But I know what's going on here, okay? Try, you have to be really rigorous when you read over at the end. Are those all my words, or am I, because I can see me in here now creeping in, okay? Which is fine, but I want my ideas to creep in, but the sentences have to be yours, totally. You see the difference? Okay. Everybody, like all the students do this. I have to warn them about how they're, you know, cutting and pasting. But it's okay. It's okay. A huge part of that uncertainty is technology. In class, we discussed the next big thing and the singularity, the moment when AI might become smarter than we are, not than us. This scares a lot of people. It reminds me of the debate we had about space. Are we using technology to solve problems or just to escape them? Nice, simple sentences. He's editing and making his thoughts clear. One thought per sentence, or something clear. It's not like, and I'm not hearing generic language, which is how AI speaks. It's in generic language. This is just nice, simple sentences. My hope is that we use technology to connect, not to hide. According to experts at the Pew Research Center, digital life in the coming decades will likely continue to expand people's boundaries and offer more opportunities for connections, but only if we manage the trust aspect of it. If we let algorithms divide us, the future will be worse. But if we use these tools, like we use the open source learning method in our group activities, where everyone contributes and everyone benefits, then technology becomes a tool for planetization. It is about moving cautiously and keeping what works. We don't need to move fast and break things anymore. We broke enough things already. Well, a sentence, a final one like that, which is grammatically incorrect, proves to me 100% that he's writing this and not the machine. That's how I make judgments as I look at this. Okay, so if you wanted to say this correctly, we don't need to move fast and break things anymore, period. We have broken enough things already, period. You've got two thoughts in there. You haven't punctuated them properly. It's called a run-on sentence. Okay, I know because I not only taught this, but I've written a lot of articles for magazines, newspapers. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, but that's okay. Space is where I lose myself completely. In discussion about the next big thing, Dalton has written in the chat that humankind will see the stars. He's going into the chat now. Way to go. Almost no students will go into the resources and make reference to the chat. It's there for you to look at, but you're actually doing your homework, which is excellent. He stated that we have this burning desire for everything that we have seen. It would make a good sounding film. Then Melissa pointed out that we have the tendencies of killing the ecosystems wherever we turn. That sentence stuck out to me. This made me think of the meaning of destiny and distraction. So, can I just comment on what might not seem evident immediately? We have a student teaching another student, and the student who's being taught by that student is reflecting on what that student said. And the reason he's doing that is because the recording or the live chat or the notes was available. So we've used tech to enhance the learning experience. And in the end, what do we get? A profound and well written thought of Harris reflecting on her. I mean, to me, you can pay me $1,000,000 and I'd say, to hell with it. I will take this kind of stuff where I see students learning and this classroom working. That means a lot. For this assignment, I was looking at the SpaceX website. Humans are planning on a multi-planetary race and building a city on Mars. Well, Elon Musk is. That's, we claim that it is necessary so mankind does not become extinct. So says Elon Musk. But I'm just adding my 2 cents, okay? That's space. But I must say, are we going there to seek another home, or are we just moving away from this planet we messed up? Nice. But you missed the question mark again. Remember I told you? You keep forgetting question marks. It's still a good question. It feels like a distraction to forget about such a planet as Diamond 55 Cancri something. He's not, that's good. He's not being that precise because if that means it's him speaking. He wasn't sure what to say there about the full name. I'm not even sure what to say. Shazabe, is it Shazabe? You're in another solar system? You are like deep into, the asynchronous group, I believe. Or Shazabe was online. Yeah, he must have joined the chat. It is amazing how we are concerned about the planet of diamonds, which is only 40 light years away, but we do not worry about our streets. It is easier to fantasize about Mars than to clean the climate here. Should we not only be unable to cope with the constraints on Earth, like the strike talks, or being able to get a microphone to work in Oshawa, then we are indeed not ready to travel to Mars. I'm sorry the tech is so bad. Carrying along our bad habits into space will not assist in our solving of our problems, but this is what will happen when we stop mending our trust problems. Canadian Space Agency talks about the overview effect, whereby space explorers see the entirety of the planet. That is what we need. The reason we must go to space is to see such a view and not to own space, as Dalton said. When we arrive at the stars, I hope we will make space better and not only tourists see what we have left in the mess we made. In assignment 1, I have written that nothing runs without trust. Trust. This is the same situation with the environment. Countries do not trust each other at the point when it happens. It is so because one of the countries is polluting on grounds that the other country will be a cheat. It is a cycle. We felt this when we had discussed the viability of space travel. The world should be considered like an extraneous task. In our group assignment, there were those who contributed and those who did not contribute. We cannot say the same thing to the planet. Everyone has to be contributing. So really what you need to be saying in that first sentence is the world should not But I see I've lost it, so I have to come back to okay. That's how, that's just a second. It's coming. It's coming. Look what's on YouTube up here. It just came back. Isn't that but it okay. Okay. I just did a workaround. I have no idea what I did, but I did it. The alien force is you will see what's happening up there. Going all over the place. On YouTube. I'm just going to leave it for the moment. Its way through our classroom right now. Just a second. Alien force. Something's happening here, but I'll bring this here so we don't get dizzy from all of this nonsense. Okay? But you will see that we have, yeah, a force over is going backwards. So what I'm going to do is the real workaround here is I want to get rid of that camera and I'll just go with the camera here because I want to keep this going. Forget and just stay there. Okay. That way we maintain our connection and we can keep flying and we'll bring back Harris. And I think I know why that did that because I went full screen there. So I'm going to, and we have on YouTube, we have that. We have audio. So let's just make sure we're finally, I know what the audio is. Are we on Extron? Yes, audio is good. So I can continue and we'll just keep the video up here. Okay. So let us finish with the second. The camera wants to detect. Stay there. You can do it. It's just the room. The room is behaving and it's misbehaving, but it's going to behave. That's it. Stay steady. That's it, Tech. I know you're a very fragile and kind of slow creature, and you need the human to come in and make you all right. I know you're crying, Tech, and it's hard, but the human has just established his dominance over you. And that is exactly the way it's going to be, Tech. The human is what controls you, not the other way around. So there we go. We just had a demonstration of a masterful human hand, not so masterful, making sure that Tech does what the human wants, even though I don't know exactly what I did, but I did it. Let us see. I'm going to just read the final two paragraphs because we need to wrap this up and bring Carmen in here because he's waiting. Well, what am I going to do in this third millennium? It is easy to feel small. I am just an individual student in Oshawa. I cannot stop the war or even deglobalize the planet. Nevertheless, I can get it small and commonplace. A little rough there in terms of what you're trying to say. I can check sources because that way I will be able to transmit my sources. I can plug the energy consumption every time I am designing something and fix the inefficiency instead of letting it pass unattended. So there are things you can do. Absolutely. The destination is not what we're going to do in the future, The destination is not where we're going in the future, something that we are doing on a daily basis. It is not going to be perfect. It is anticipated that having bad microphones will persist into the year 3000. This is true. I like that. We are certain to clash with each other. But as long as we are able to be curious rather than convinced, communion rather than solitude will make it. Lastly, everyone should remember that no perfect future is raining down from the heavens. A decent one is built one brick at a time. Lovely. Way to go. Okay? Good stuff. Sorry I couldn't read the whole thing, but we had to take a break and assert our dominance over stupid tech. All right. So why don't we say, for the sake of moving things along, we'll let Carmen come up and begin, unless anybody has a burning desire to speak about Harris at this point. We'll return to this after, okay? I just want to make sure that Carmen has come because he had said he was going to come and do this, and then Noah. So, Carmen, do you need to put anything up here? Okay, then I'm going to go to your and Dropbox. All right, good. And I know how to run this. So, yep, sure. I think what happened is when I made Harris's PowerPoint or Harris's assignment full screen, it messed with the tech here. That's what happened. So I'm going to keep it not full screen for now, and I'll download it. No, I'll do. Um, it 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 should be okay if I make it full screen. Let me try something. There we go. Okay. A second. Let me bring this back and tee it up because I really want to give you so it looks really good. Go on just a second. No. So when you switch, you're going to just have to scroll. Okay. So let me do it this way too. Increase size. There we go. Okay. So we're good right now. Come on up, okay? And I'm going to give you the headset so you can move your hands and take your time to get set up, okay? To make sure you're comfortable here. And I'm going to put this on you. You see how it is, like with me? Put that on you right now behind your ears. That's right. That's right. And you can just bring that down to your mouth a little bit. There we go. And you can put that in your back pocket. Okay. And I'd like you to um, just speak for about 20 seconds. Just explain a bit of how the weather is today. I just want to check the audio. Okay. So go ahead.
Well, it's pretty snowy and cold. Um, and the weather it's a nice cold. Not good for the cars though. It's a nice cold. Okay,
Good,
it's alright.
good. We got it. Latency is really helpful. Because we're getting rid of the audio, so maintain the video on this in case anything crashes. I will see it. So now we are ready for the first real presentation. Okay, so could you all please make sure that you give Carmen underline attention, okay? And I would ask that of any presenter. I would make sure that you give the vision provider. Your comment absolutely is important. It's going to make the discussion advance, okay? So don't make any mistakes. Please do your best not to be distracted. But I'll let you leave the laptop. But if I need to, do I need to tell you to close it to be focused? Try to control yourself, okay? You're in three dimensions here. Real person. We put thought into this. So, Carmen, you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Well, before we start this presentation off, I just want to let everyone know this is my own opinion, and trying to predict something from 100 years is very broad because there's so many different types of factors. So, give me 1 second. I'm like blanking out now, but
I know. Did you rehearse?
I did rehearse,
Good.
but
Okay. It's okay. It happens all the time. Is everything flown out of your head? Is that? Yeah.
it's like okay.
Exactly. No, this is good. This is a real learning moment. So we're going to help you get into the zone.
Sorry.
Okay.
So I just want to say this is my own opinion. Trying to predict something from 100 years ago is hard because of multiple factors. Before I start this presentation off, I just want to ask a question to you guys. So if you guys, I want you guys to imagine yourself 100 years ago, and I want you to imagine a person and you trying to explain to them the life you live now. And I want to ask, what do you think they would feel? Well, a couple things they would feel is you'll think you're crazy because technology and many other things have advanced far so much in the past hundreds of years that it's unexplainable. And trying to ask a question now and to predict something 100 years ago, in my opinion, it will be unexplainable. So I'll pick one topic, and my topic is the first contact. What happens when humanity meets new life? My name is Carmen Kang. So I want to imagine you guys waking up tomorrow morning. Every news channel on earth is broadcasting the same alert. A new form of life has made contact with humanity. Not a blurry video, not a rumor, something real, intelligent, and undeniable from this earth. So the question I ask, how does humanity react when we're not no longer the only intelligent life on this universe? So the main question is, what are the emotional, political, scientific, and religious consequences of the first human encounter with a new form of life? So some possible new life forms can be either a biological extraterrestrial being, a non-human intelligence, a energy-based life, artificial or hybrid consciousness, or a microbial life from another planet. Some possible types of contacts. Um, as I said, first is a biological being, something similar to humans but not human. A technological intelligence like AI, plasma or energy-based forms, interdimensional or non-physical beings, and for the forms of contact, sorry. So this is how we will discover this new life. They can either contact us, we can either discover them. A signal or a probe or an aircraft can arrive from space, or they may reveal themselves intentionally. Now I'll be talking about the human reaction. So the first would be panic, because the idea that we're not alone is a scary thought. Is a scary thought to many. Second would be denial. People may not even believe this because for hundreds and hundreds of years we've all believed that we're the only life form on this universe. Third would be excitement. There are some that would have relief in knowing that we're not the only ones here. Um, Fourth would be curiosity. They would question, why now? Why are we realizing now that there's another new life form? Why not before? And lastly, it would be existential fear. Will we be okay? Is this something that can? Is this a threat to our life? Sorry, it's not in order. Sorry. So now I want to be talking about this documentary that I watched recently. It came out this year, and it's called "The Age of Disclosure." This documentary talks about how military has confirmed sightings of UAPs. Sorry, I want to first talk about what it's about. It talks about how UAPs have been confirmed through military, through radar, pilots, and infrared tracking. It talks about how many objects appear to be non-human technology. Also talks about how the U.S. government has run classified programs for decades to investigate these unidentified aerial phenomenons, and also talks about how some officials believe the technology may not be human intelligence, and also talks about the growing push for the government to be transparent. So this is Luis L. Zionado. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He is a former U.S. Army counterintelligence officer and was the director of AATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. He spent years analyzing military encounters with UAPs. Key points he says in the documentary is he talks about how mainly talks about how UAP displays technology far more advanced than human technology. Talks about how UAPs have instant acceleration, 90 degrees turns, no heat signatures. He's also resigned from his governmental position so he can be more public about this because he believes that humanity deserves the truth. Next we have is Jay Stratton. He is a he is a longtime intelligence official, was the former head of the Pentagon's UAP task force. He investigated sightings across all different types of military branches, the Air Force, Navy, and other intelligence branches. He talks about how he talks about how he talks about how um, he's found radars, pilots, and camera data all confirming the same object. He's talked about how the crafts do not match any unknown country technology. The reason why I bring this up is because with them saying this is not human technology, that is me kind of talking about how we could possibly be meeting a new life in the past hundreds of years. We're just progressing towards that goal. Third, I want to be talking about Harold E. Puthoff. This is he is a physicist. He worked with the CIA, NASA, Department of Defense, and was a senior scientist for AATIP. He specialized in exotic material and advanced propulsion. Some points he made in this documentary were talking about how he analyzed anomalous material. He believed that the UAPs use space-time distortion, zero-point energy, and gravity manipulation for the UAPs. And lastly, I want to be talking about is Marco Rubio. He is a United States Senator for Florida. He is a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He has access to classified briefs, and he also talks about these UAP encounters and talks about how regular these UAP encounters are. He talks about how these crafts violate restricted military airspaces and has no way of communicating with it. He talks about if we don't if we do he also talks about if we ignore this, that it is very dangerous. And the reason why I bring this documentary up is because it talks about the unknown origin of the universe, talks about how there is possibly new life, talks about how the government is hiding it from us, and that um, knowing this is key for humanity's future. And I also want to talk about the reasons why. I will also be talking about later the reasons why the government doesn't talk about these things. But moving forward, I want to be talking about is Area 51. It's a very well known. It's a very well known classified U.S. Air Force facility in Nevada. It was established in the 1950s as a testing site for spy aircrafts. It is the home of the U-2, the SR-71, and the stealth bomber. And the reason why I bring these up was because people around the time thought these were UFOs because how crazy they looked at the time. It has heavy securities, uh, a lot of sensors, crazy patrol, and underground bunkers. The reason why I bring this up is because this is where a lot of people bring the topic of aliens. If there is any alien activity, alien spacecrafts, um, most likely Area 51 is the place to that tries to sorry would be the place they would experiment with it. And the reason why I say this matters is because the secrecy fuels speculation of non human craft storage. Some claim that this is the place that they reverse engineer these UAPs. Workers, sorry, What's said about Area 51 online? It's believed to house advanced aerospace projects, rumors of recovered UFOs and exotic materials, and is a suggested location for studying propulsion systems and human tech. Multiple whistleblowers connect to Area 51 to um, to talk about these UAP encounters, and these. They also talked about how. Um, sorry, they also talked about. Moving on. Next, I want to bring up is Bob Lazar. He claimed to have worked at S4, a facility close to Area 51, a physicist who says he was hired to reverse engineer alien technology. He's claimed to have saw 9 alien aircrafts with different designs, and he says this technology was powered by a element 115, which was bending gravity. He said the craft had no wiring, systems were smooth, seamless, almost organic. And he said the seating suggested at being the seating was suggested to be for beings from 3 to 4 feet tall. He also was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He was describing antimatter reactors, and he was talking about it was the size of a baseball. He says the crafts were generating its own gravitational field, and claims that his employment records were erased because of the secrecy of the project. So now I want to be talking about why the government. I just have 2 more slides. Sorry. So why the government is silent about this topic? First, I would say is religion. People may lose faith in religion because it could also disrupt people's own personal beliefs. Um, Obviously, not being the only being and or only life in the universe could question people's religion. Social control, there could be a mass panic, could be riots because of this. People knowing that they're not alone could ultimately, there's multiple things that could happen, but from what I believe, mass panic. Third is military concerns. There are unknown intelligence, which also equal unknown threats. Potential for weaponizing recovered technology. Obviously, with this technology being so rare, um, other countries, it's like a silent Cold War of space technology, and whichever country is the quickest to reverse engineer it will be the most powerful. So I would also see for power and political stability. People will also lose trust in the government because why would the government be lying about this for so long? Why wouldn't they let us know? And the lost trust, the population will lose trust in government. Some possible outcomes. There's a lot of possible outcomes for when what happens when we meet new life. One I would say is unity or division. People may finally realize that uh, if there's other species, we have to act as one. So humans may either become together or with the realization that we're not the only one, um, might collapse. Next would be peaceful contact. We could have a trade of knowledge, advancements in technology. Next would be I don't know how to say this word. Existential shock. Humanity, humanity may question its purpose and identity. A new era. I believe possibly they could be what they call the New World Order, where this may combine the world together into a one government system because who knows. Uh, and now for the conclusion. The first contact isn't just about aliens, it's about us. Our reactions will define whether we grow or collapse, whether we unite or fall apart, whether we will let fear control us or let curiosity lead us forward. So, the final question I ask to you guys is when the universe finally reaches out, will we be ready? Thank you, everyone. My name is Carmen Kang, and this is my vision for the future. Thank you.
So come on and sit right in the nucleus, okay, right here, because we want to pass the mic around. We want to pass it around, and it's much easier. So come sit here, okay, right there, okay, right in the couches. Come on, let's make this work. And Hamza, same. Jack, yep. Zoom. Uh, cameras. It's when I make the PowerPoint full screen on here, it's sending the system off here, and it won't. Let me just come back here. There we go. Okay, it's just a little glitch, and I think we might have to live with this until that other camera comes back. Do you have something you want to present in terms of show a video?
I have a
Okay.
PowerPoint.
Where is it's on your computer? Okay. Could you send it to me right now? Email it to me. Try it first to my email. If it doesn't, if it doesn't work, we'll use WeTransfer. Okay. So let's take a few minutes. 5 minutes, okay? Just a quick little break. And then if any of you have to go, the deal is this we discussed last week. If you have to be somewhere, he won't be in any way offended, insulted, because he knows this is something he's doing out of his own interest. He's not in this course officially. And so if you're staying, I'm not giving you any extra marks. This is all just for your own interest and to also see, I think, a very good mind at work, as we've seen with Carmen. You know, you're going to see another good mind at work, okay? But if you have to go, you have to go, okay? No problem. All right, so so my email is, do you want the address? Okay, Lon, Lon. Okay, I'm going to write it up here for you, okay? Up here? Yeah.
Should I send you as a PDF?
Yes, send it as a PDF. Absolutely, that's the best. And then, so it's Lon dot Appleby. Good. So we have a few students that are going to stay. Good. Yeah, great. And you're going to have a recording. I want to make sure we have a nice recording of this. It may be that it's just you at the podium close up here, which is actually not bad. But not. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it that way. We have juice in here. Okay, and we are still recording, so, oh, and we have it. So it's just this little glitch. Every time I go full screen with the PowerPoint, it disables the camera here, and it forces me back onto my laptop camera. But actually, it might return if it decides to. So tech, you're really being annoying right now. And I don't like the way you are just going off and doing your own thing. And so if that's the way you want to be, we'll find a workaround. And okay, so you've emailed it. So let's go to my email and do it this way. Actually, we will do it another way. We'll do it on the Chrome tab, and we'll get rid of that. We'll do this. We don't need that anymore. And we'll simply go into Lon Appleby. Here we are. Great. Oh, how do you pronounce your last name?
I don't know.
I never knew what your last name was.
It's Ukrainian.
Oh, okay. You don't. All right. Well, anyways, let's we'll do it. Open it as a preview for now, and then I think I might be able to just put that in, and I'll do it this way. So there we go. It's preview, and I can then bring back this and bring back the preview there. Okay, keep that. Okay, I'll put, sorry, do it that way. Go over here, keep the live stream here so we can see, bring that here, fill that. There we go. Fill that up. So what you will see in the recording, you will have a nice recording, and I'm not going to full screen it. That should not disable anything right now. And I will just leave it like that for the moment. So what you're going to have in the end is it's going to be you at the podium, and we'll see this in the background. It'll be nice, recorded. Okay, we won't see everybody, but we will hear them. Okay, well, we'll get there. Okay, let's take it one step at a time. Okay, put this on. So you're essentially doing that behind your ears. So put it on that way, so that this way. So and there we go. Yeah, so that goes behind your ears. There we go. Nice. And you can put that in your pocket. Great. So this is what we're going to see. Okay, and the recording, which is nice. You'll be in front of that. Okay. Okay. Well, Noah, thank you very much for letting us see your vision and be part of your kind of intellectual journey in your understanding of where we're going into our future.
Of course. And I want to thank you for letting me do this. It means a lot.
This is great. And, let me just say to all of you, as a teacher, professor, I'm most interested in knowledge and learning together to help you in the best way I can. Grades are important, but the most important thing is that we love to learn together. That's that's critical. Go for it.
So, hello everyone, my name is Noah, and the topic that I'm going to be discussing today is how the future of humanity is slowly robotifying itself through technological dependence. So to begin with the table of contents, I just want to give you guys a quick overview of what will be discussed. First, I'm going to give you what I believe is the definition of morality, followed by how technology was more of a building block in the early times as opposed to a convenience thing, and then we're going to move into the 1980s where things kind of boom up a little bit, and then compare how it is today. And then there's going to be a little short video clip, and then I'm going to use that to bridge into how I think humanity could go into the future, and then I will wrap it up. So I also want to mention that this is going to be a rather pessimistic view on humanity. I think that this is a very low reality or low potential reality that can happen, but it's still something that dawned into my mind that I still think could happen if the proper precautions are not met. So starting off, we have the definition of humanity. I think that there's 4 key attributes to it. We have morality, self-awareness, love, and death. As for morality, I think it is an incredible thing that we just have an understanding of objective good and wrong, whether that's a self-driven ideology or it's driven by religion. I still think it is very important into defining us. Self-awareness, the ability to understand that we are alive and we are able to do pretty much anything, is also really important. It's not really seen in a lot of animals. The mirror theory is like kind of something that can lead to self-awareness. Like if you show certain animals mirrors, if they cannot recognize themselves, they don't see, or they're not self-aware. I think dogs and birds are 2 examples of animals that are self-aware, but humans are self-aware in a much stronger manner. Love, another thing, it's common amongst almost every single animal species, but I think that what makes humans' love is special is the ability to just partner up with somebody at random chance and just live life together, not have that natural survival instinct of just reproduce, die, move on. I think the ability to connect with somebody over the years and just grow together, share fond memories together, and just have fun together is incredible. And lastly, I want to cover death. We have manipulated death to offer purpose, whether it be through religion or it gives us reasons to just do things in our lives. I think that ultimately knowing that one day none of us will be here is one of the biggest motivators to actually do something and make yourself happy throughout your life. So starting on with the early technology throughout the early 1900s, I want to cover 3 topics that kind of connect with one another, which is electricity, travel, and engineering. So starting off, we have electricity, which has substantially expanded over the years, but in the 1900s, early 1900s, it had a huge expansion of distribution across the world. It was a way that people were able to then get lighting in their house, proper heating, ovens, all of that stuff just a really big way to strengthen the quality of life in the home and then reduce a lot of workload for, say, like cooking foods when it can just be done automatically with very little work. Travel, obviously, we had the cars and then we had aircraft. Funnily enough, aircraft came before cars, which is very interesting to think about. But the ability to build cars was a way to effectively replace the horse, which means you no longer had to care for an animal, no longer had to train it, no longer had to attach a wagon to it so it can bring everything all over the place. You just load stuff up in a car and go. As for aircraft, this was substantial for mail travel, some pedestrian travel, the early age. Commercial airliners didn't really get built until the 1950s, but they had their purposes early on. And then engineering, this is what allowed us to boom in population-dense cities such as like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Toronto. The ability to understand how things work vertically as opposed to just horizontally was a way to completely compact civilizations together and effectively negate a lot of travel times, because instead of having a bunch of houses scattered all over the place, you just have something tall and you just take one elevator and you're on street level. Moving on, we have the 1980s, which I think is where we had another big boom. So obviously we already had like televisions and all of that, but I think the 1980s through the 1990s was kind of just more so quality of life focused. I don't think it was really essential for furthering humanity as a whole. We had computers, video games, and the first mobile phones. Computers were a way to store data digitally, which would just negate like a lot of room for like papers or like just a whole bunch of files. You could just store it on a hard drive and it was there. No hassle. Video games were a huge entertainment source in the 1980s. I took a course on it last semester, so I have a little bit of knowledge on it, but effectively early video games were kind of just a way to bring the arcade to your own house. You would have lesser quality video games, like I know Donkey Kong on the first video game consoles was terrible as opposed to what you would see in the arcades. Mario as well, obviously Donkey Kong Mario, but yeah. And then we had mobile phones, which were like these huge bricks that would take forever to charge, but they wouldn't really last too long. But it was still effectively a way where you could just go on the go and then talk to anybody, wherever, which was a huge innovation in the 1980s. And now I want to move on to the modern day, which is where things are going to get a little more pessimistic. I want to cover 4 things primarily: smartphones, AI chatbots, VR headsets, and algorithms. First, smartphones. We all have them. They're all in our pockets 24/7. I think that the invention of the smartphone was incredible. It's a really good way to just have information on the go, be able to message people on the go. But then there's a lot of downsides to the smartphone. I'll tie into algorithms in a second. We have social media platforms. This is a place where it just completely fries your attention span. And as somebody who's chronically online, I'll be honest, I see a lot of people seem to speak things that they would never say to somebody in person. You have people swearing at other people. You have people telling them to end their lives. You have people just being straight up hateful for no reason. I like aviation. I like sports, primarily hockey. I follow a bunch of hockey pages, and like the toxicity I see just because somebody wears a different jersey is bloody insane. And then you'll see things with like the aircraft industry where it's like you have one plane crash and then people immediately think they're bloody experts in the field. They then go to blame this manufacturer for that incident when it's legitimately a maintenance problem, not the aircraft company. So tying into algorithms here, I think social media is a massive contribution to how I think society can begin its downfall. Because people are like awful on the internet, we're also going to be fed awful content because it tries to cater towards us. So that means we're going to get information that's kind of like news. We're going to see all the bad things in the world, never really see anything good. I can scroll for hours. My feed will primarily consist of like dark humor or like really bad news, but it's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that I get something that's like actually nice to see. So a lot of people are going to be fed all this negativity and just nobody's ever going to have anything positive to say. When it comes to AI chatbots, I think that I saw a quote, it was like, AI is not the problem, it's humanity's stupidity, which I think is very fair because some of us see AI as like this massive waste of water, just something that's absolutely useless and shouldn't contribute to society. I use ChatGPT sometimes to just get like quick information. I like it for its ability to just provide information on the spot, whether it's not full. I don't rely on it for full credibility. I just use it for like a general understanding. But then there are people who are going to use AI to effectively replace other people. As Kiki has mentioned in the past, there have been cases where people have relied on AI for therapeutic reasons, and then because these AIs are just algorithms that read what other people have said in the past, they will then suggest people to end their lives or commit to harmful measures. And then on the more bright but still negative side of it, you'll have people who use AI as replacement for like friends and family. This can be good, but AI is obviously going to try and cater to your lifestyle. So if you have a miserable home life and then you try to go to AI to be or to have it be your best friend, now you're going to begin to appreciate algorithms more than your own family. So you're just going to go back to your family and friends, you're just going to be even more miserable, and then you're just relying on a bunch of pixels on a screen to make your life better, which I think is very parasocial and dangerous for some people. And then VR headsets, to wrap this section up, is just a way to hide your reality in return for a fake one. I couldn't really find too much information on it. It's just kind of something that I worry about because you have the Apple Vision Pro, you have the Meta Quest, and then you have Samsung's AR headset that they released recently. I think technology-wise, these things are going to be the future. We have the smartphone now, but definitely once we can manufacture this material to be smaller and be more practical, it'll be the replacement for the smartphone. But as I can also see it, people are going to try and hide in a fake world. We do this with video games sometimes, but to just put on a headset and look around and nothing is the same, I genuinely think that that is something very scary.
Keep going. I'm writing words of wisdom.
All right.
How much longer, just to make sure? Time.
3 more slides.
Okay. Go on.
The presentation's not scrolling anymore.
Oh, tech is just. Sorry to personalize tech so much, but I start to treat it like almost. Why are you? Okay, tech. If frozen, eh? Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Go on, and let's try again. We need a little bit of a runway, don't we? Because you're just really dopey. And then you just like to spreeze, don't you? And why are you doing that? You know, we have a student who really has prepared some insight. It's because you're scared. That's why. You're scared of what he's saying about you. That's what he's doing. And you don't like it, do you? You don't like it one bit. No. Okay.
Would it be possible to download and open it?
Yes. Okay. Now, here's some good tech. My glasses. It's a beautiful tech. So I just want to be fair. Okay. These are beautiful things. These will always be good. I will never talk bad, talk crap about you. Okay. Glasses. But this, nasty piece of work. Okay. So let's go over here. Let's do this little bit of workaround because you are just an obnoxious. Oh, you want to freeze completely, don't you? Well, I know how we're going to get over that. I can work around you. I just cover you up. That's all I do. So you become, and then look at that. We just fly through. There we go. We're skating. The skates are sharp now. The ice has been flooded. The Zamboni has just, disappeared, and we're coming out for the final period. Aren't we? So there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You're going to talk about Wall-E. Lovely. That's a great movie. Almost won an Academy Award for Best Movie. First animated movie, I think, ever nominated for a Best Motion Picture, not Best Animation. I think. Anyways. Okay.
So I'd have to open YouTube to play
Okay,
this.
Let's do that. We'll open another tab. It's okay. I can do it because I'm smart. We'll put that in the dock for now. This, we're going to do it, and we'll do it on Chrome because that's a little faster. Let's go to YouTube. Okay, and
If you just type in Wally, it should be one of the first
oh,
ones.
sure,
I'll
yeah,
know the title when I say it.
Wall-E. Yeah, there. Okay, so great. You're going to do the trailer or something or a scene.
A scene.
Human dystopia. Okay,
Yeah.
let's make sure. Yeah, go full screen. We should
Full
be.
screen?
Yeah, we should be okay with YouTube.
Okay.
And let me make sure. I'll start running it. Make sure it's.
Audio's not too important to it. It's just
Well,
getting the
okay,
atmosphere.
we'll get there, but it's just being funny today. Audio's there could be. Okay, we got it. Here we go. We got audio.
So yeah, that's the video clip I chose to use. I think that for a kids movie, Wall-E was an exceptionally good film because it covers the worries of the future for a lot of things, whether it be for like waste management or humanity as a whole.
It was. How many of you have seen Wall-E or heard of it? Kiki? Okay, good. Did you like it? Did you find it interesting? Yeah.
I closed the thing by mistake.
It's okay.
I don't do Macs.
What?
I was a little terrified of it, actually.
It is a terrifying movie.
No, I mean, like, I was literally, I was like 6, so I was terrified of Wall-E.
Oh, well, that's too young to see.
When
This-
it came out, I've seen it since.
Yeah.
I agree, it's a good movie, but, kids.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to, is there,
There's-
conclude, yeah.
There's still one more slide.
Go ahead, okay, so let's finish up and then we'll talk a little bit or we'll see how time is. But let me come back, let me get my glasses. I believe if you want to check, if someone wants to just put into ChatGPT, is Wall-E the only animation feature film ever nominated for an Academy Award as a motion picture. As a motion picture. Okay, which is significant. And we had you on, okay, it was over here, I believe, or was it in here? No, okay. We had, yes? Is it
I'm the
true?
only one now.
Is it, there we go, okay. Uh, So, yes?
Yeah.
Good, okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
So, using the clip from Wally as a backbone, I just want to cover kind of how I can perceive the future being. So, I think that in that clip that I just showcased, people weren't necessarily lazy, they were just adapted to these new environments. We as humans will adapt to really any situation. If you give some people a way to live life by doing nothing, they're going to do this and they're going to live by it unless they see proper reason for change. Like I said, adoption is natural, but we should really try to aim to fight away from this actual chance of this happening. It would be very dangerous. And I would argue that these people are lifeless. They show signs of humanity, like they still show proper manners, they still try to introduce themselves, but they are consumed by every single piece of technology around there, avoiding proper human interaction. As we saw in the beginning, two people were like FaceTiming each other, but they were sitting right next to each other. And they are blind to the world around us. Like I said, they only see through screens. At the end of the clip, we saw the lady get her screen interrupted, and then that was like her first time actually seeing everything around her because she's just so hyper-focused on what's right in front of her eyes. And this is where I would want to call humanity robotic in the future because our hunger for knowledge will begin to fade. Robots seem to have more purpose than the humans did in this clip. The humans are just there to be there. They are not living, they are just simply there. Robots are out here doing the jobs. Robots are out here providing for people. The humans are just doing nothing. And then to formally conclude, just to wrap up again, I would argue that the 1900s was a productive era. It led us forward, and everything that was invented had served some degree of purpose. The 1980s were helpful. They kept us happy. I'm sure anybody alive in the 80s will tell you that the 80s were great, and it was very great for entertainment, like I said. 2025 is more focused on convenience, keeps us simple, keeps us in line, and our lives are now completely driven by technology. And then for the future, I would argue that we would be consumed by technology. Like I said, technology would do more than humans themselves actually did. And yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow, wonderful. Stay for, and it's all up to you, whoever wants to say something, before we conclude, you're absolutely welcome, but this is all for wisdom. It's not for marks or anything, it's just for wisdom. So, there's a recording of this. You can watch it again. There's lots you can do with this, but is there anything anyone wants to add? Melissa, go ahead, please. Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to what you said. I just wanted to talk about what you said. First of all, that was really great. It was
Thank you.
really interesting. For every slide, I had a comment, and then eventually I started putting my points down because I started forgetting about them. I really agree with you about the whole AI thing. It's really right there. I feel like we have a tendency of just like abusing everything. Like AI is there, it's great, it can be used so well, but again, we use it, like we overuse it for everything. Social media is great if used properly. Like nowadays, there's like TikTok, for example. There's a big debate, like if it should just be shut down, like all these things. There is so many bad things, like you said. People say things that they don't.
You never say, yeah, to
People
somebody.
overshare too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, why would you think to post that for other people? But also, it can be really intrusive. Is that a word?
Intrusive.
Yeah.
Intrusive. In what? How do you mean it?
I don't
Intrusive.
think that's what I mean.
Okay.
I meant like instructive. That's what I'm looking
Instructive.
for. It can be really instructive. There's a lot of things that I learned that are true, not all of them. but there's things that can be really interesting to know. Now on TikTok, there's like this STEM part, like a lot of science and stuff. So you can learn things.
Yes.
But unfortunately, again, we overuse it and then we use it wrong.
No.
So I really agree with you. You did not lie. It's not very optimistic, but I feel like it can get there if we don't change.
If we're smarter enough,
No.
stupid.
That kind of
Exactly.
that brings me back to
Stupid.
that brings me back to the quote where
Stupid.
it's
And then the AI thing, you said that really, there's the show I watched is called The Rookie, and then at some point there's this like chat bot. Two girls are talking to it, telling like, oh, this girl was so mean, blah 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 blah. What should we do? And he's like, well, you should kill her. So it was like, and then they did the whole thing. They tried to like take her to the forest because I forgot the name of the robot.
Yeah.
Like told them that's the solution to their problem. So yes, it can be great. I also use ChatGPT for like random things
Sure.
that answers like right now that isn't like, you know, you can't rely on it completely, but
No.
there's little things that you're like, oh, can this work with this? I don't know. But again, we overuse it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything we do.
but that brings me back to the quote where I said that it's not really AI that's the danger, it's us.
Exactly, for
Yeah.
everything. And then the video game, you're so right. I have a PlayStation 1 and the Donkey Kong is very funny on it. But again, that's something back then that was created to entertain.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fun. And now it's, again, overused. People play for hours
Mhm.
and they don't move and they just like watch a screen, which can be good for like your reflexes and stuff.
No.
But again, people stay there for so long.
Because they're not mindful.
I should have covered addiction on this. It would have been
Mindful. Step back and think about it.
And then you did
You
say
idiot.
self-awareness.
Step
was
back and
good.
think about it.
In the
You're not an
show,
idiot,
and that
but you
little
understand
piece,
things.
Slowly it was going, like, yes, she knew she was there, but she wasn't aware of anything around her, like, people could be dying and she was just like.
consumed.
Great.
So many things said was really, really good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Comment, great, give comment, and if you have to go, you have to go, okay? So there's no pressure here, but this is good knowledge, wisdom, insight. It's coming from you guys, and there's a record of this. So go for it if you want.
I just wanted to add on to what he said with a couple of things. First, with social media, I feel like social media adds like a what's normal at the time, and that's what ruins it because we kind of want to reach that expectation of what is normal in the world. And I'd say ever since social media has come out, there's I'd say in like fashion, what's good in fashion has changed through social media. Things that we say, like I don't know if I remember last week you were talking about brain rot is like a very
Of which?
common- brain rot.
Brain rot. Yeah, I probably said that, but I think it might have been a student who said it.
No.
Okay,
You had
brain
it-
rot.
You had it on the board, and it was like one of
Rage bait.
Rage bait.
Rage bait was Oxford Dictionary's word of the year. Rage bait.
And that wouldn't be there
Yeah.
without social media. And I feel like social
Yeah.
media adds the what's normal of that era, you know?
For sure.
And you could only imagine what in 100 years what will be that normal. And I also wanted to add in like how you was talking about with technology. I don't know if people know like how Neuralink, they're trying to make chips where you can control technology. And
It's Elon Musk's company, sure.
and that itself is going to be crazy where conversations will cease to exist. I can talk to you from here with just my thought. And that is where I think humanity will leave us in possibly 100 years and go into this technology base where we're all talking through the cloud. Because you can only imagine FaceTiming, talking about FaceTiming 100 years ago is crazy.
Mhm.
The ability to talk to your family member from across the world through a digital device.
People
and see
would not
their
have believed
face.
it. Exactly.
Would not
100 years ago, some would have understood. Nikola Tesla, for example, and other visionaries at the time. But a lot of people would have wondered.
And who knows,
For sure.
maybe we'll get to a point where I can read someone's thoughts or I can talk to them through my brain from 100 years ago. And I think now we're going into this digital tunnel where there's not going to be an escape. And obviously you're seeing the reliance part with how we rely on AIs for our answer. I think it's going to become something where it's going to affect universities and colleges where people are like, I don't need to go there. I can get everything from AI. Where Because AI is growing every single day, and by then, I think AI might be its own school. There's so many possibilities with technology that.
But you know what needs to be said, just so you can take something away from this that has some balance as well, because I know that you would also subscribe to this, Carmen, because you want the balance too. You had mentioned that last week when we talked, is that the more we talk about the dark, difficult problems, frankly and clearly and intelligently, the better position we are to solve them. And so I hope that when you leave today and you think about what we've been looking at, you know, there's a lot of critical things that have been said, and they're very smart things. But at the same time, if you don't talk about things in a very clear, independent way, you won't be able to solve them. So these are the problems that are being identified now. But you have the ability to solve them. Humans do have the ability to solve enormous problems. And human history shows this, but come to my short history of the world class on Fridays, and you will see when we talk about, for example, how humans got through the last ice age and we almost became extinct. You know, but there are many other examples. So we are problem solvers, but we need to know what the problem is. And I think Carmen and also Noah are helping us to understand the problems. Yeah.
I just wanted to add lastly, like the
Sure.
trigger that he added as well with what you said is the life doing what you're told, because that will prevent you from discovering new things.
Absolutely.
All you have to do is
Absolutely.
kind of look away from that screen and just look around
Yep.
and you'll kind of find what the truth is. And yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
You can't follow what you've been told. You should build your own paths, and by looking away from looking away from.
Yeah. You're not being fed anymore. At that moment, when you look away, now it's wide open. You can think. But as soon as you look at the screen, you're often being fed now. You're often being fed. You don't want to be fed. You want to be thinking. Anyways, very good. Noah, thank you so much. Melissa and all of you. Kiki, do you want to say something? And then I think we can wrap this up. Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking on your points about Neuralink, knowing that like it would essentially enable us to communicate
Through implants in our brain, chips put into our brains.
I think that actually a lot of human virtues, i.e. shame, would be lost. If everybody can hear what we think, and potentially knowing how bad corporations are with their privacy policies, people could hear what
we're thinking.
we don't want them to hear that we're thinking.
I would say as
and-
well with that, like privacy would be the main concern for this, where you're not able to control that, and someone's controlling what you're thinking. That's really not a good way about going with it. And also I want to add, like what I was saying, like communication will cease to exist, senses will cease to exist.
Yes.
Your thoughts will cease to exist, and like it would just be all in. You would be the AI at that point, in my opinion. Once you like have that chip in your head, where.
Well, I hope that you will leave this class, this course, this room, and this discussion today with that other thought, which is, yeah, these are problems, but I know that I can solve them. But just try to unplug more and tap into your own imagination a lot more, and don't be fed. Lovely point. Don't be fed. You don't need to be. You can think. Okay.
I just want to say one last
Sure,
thing.
no, go ahead.
I just want to thank all of you guys who stuck around, because like he said, you guys had no reason to stay,
Yeah.
but I do greatly
Yeah.
appreciate it. So
Well,
thank
let's
you.
give everybody a hand for sticking around for demonstrating in the classroom. It can be just about education, knowledge, and the inspiration of students. So have a great holiday. If you need to contact me, email me, please. I'm going to be holed away in my study for the next 4 or 5 days, marking like crazy, getting everything done to have your grades done
by next Tuesday. Final grades have to be submitted. If you find yourself in a real crisis and you can't get the final assignment in at 11:59 today, just shoot me an email and let me know, and I can give you an extension till Sunday. Okay, that's the latest, but you have to email me and let me know, okay? If you're in a real jam. It's okay. I can help you with that, but after Sunday, 11:59 p.m., you're on your own. I can't do anything more for you at that point. Okay? Okay, everybody, enjoy some nice white snow. See you soon. Okay.
It's even worse now.
I know, but it looks kind of
I was
clean.
gonna say advance, yes, I probably need that extension.
Okay.
I've had a heavy final season.
I'm gonna make a note.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make sure I make a note here.
I will
Okay,
also,
Melissa,
I
take
will
care,
also
yeah.
probably email you. I probably only need until tomorrow.
Okay,
actually.
well, let me put it down. Kiki, okay. Kiki.
I also want to thank you for pretty much including me as one of the class. I really liked that.
Well, thank you for coming, and I think you've helped the class. You've made it
Yeah.
more, you've enriched the class with your interest and knowledge.
Thank you.
And I think the fact that, few students stayed is
I was
a
expecting,
show of that,
I was expecting like Kiki, I always forget
Yeah.
his name, and then
Person?
Yeah,
person else,
and I would be here
someone
for
else.
sure, but I wasn't expecting everyone else. Okay, anything you need?
Some
Do you want the
morning.
extension
No,
till
not the
Sunday? Yeah,
extension,
you're okay.
uh,
Oh,
it's-
you want to get me the WeTransfer?
It's
Okay,
I
it's
sent it.
is
so I
it
just wanted to
okay?
make sure
Let's
that
let's
Very
check
early
and see. Okay, so give me so it is down till Sunday. You got till Sunday 11:59. Okay.
I'll probably have
Yeah.
it by tomorrow.
Okay, do your best. But okay, let me check yours. Well, let me just stop the stream, stop everything first, so we're done with that. And that was on Safari. Oh, interesting. Okay, that was his presentation. I don't know where that went, but we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do that, and I guess we'll just end the stream like that. Your stream will stop immediately. Ending it, okay.